Today we are going to be talking about the Thibodaux Massacre. If topics such as these trigger you, please scroll. On January 31st, 1865, the 13th Amendment abolished slavery. Despite this, unjust working conditions persisted for African American workers. In the sugar-producing region of Louisiana, many African American families still lived in old slave cabins on farms. Growers fed them meals, and they were paid famine wages of as little as 42 cents per 12-hour shift. Oftentimes, workers weren't paid in cash, but scrips that could be used to buy necessities in plantation stores. Workers disagreed with how much they were being paid and the use of the scrips. Workers protested these conditions in a series of strikes in the 70s and 80s, but unfortunately they all failed. So, they contacted the Knights of Labor, the biggest and most powerful union in America. In 1886, the Knights of Labor formed Local Assembly 8404 in Shreveport for the purpose of organizing sugar plantation workers. In October 1887, the Knights of Labor presented a list of demands to the Louisiana Sugar Producers Association, which included raising wages to $1.25 a day, eliminating scrips, and biweekly payments. The demand was refused, so the Knights of Labor called for a strike. On November 1, 1887, approximately 10,000 African American cane workers united in a work stoppage that lasted 3 weeks. Instead of bargaining with the strikers, growers decided to fire them. This did not halt the protests, so growers called on Governor Samuel D. McHenry to quote-unquote use muscle against the strikers. Thus, several militias were gathered and commanded by ex-Confederate General P.G.D. Burgard. Soldiers evicted strikers, forcing African American families to flee to Thibodaux. This did not discourage the strikers. They continued their protesting in Thibodaux. On the morning of November 23, 1887, shots were fired in a cornfield, injuring 2 white guards. General P.G.T. Burgard led his militias into town. One militia was equipped with a .45 caliber Gatling gun, a hand-cranked machine gun. An army cannon was set up outside the local jail. The militia, along with townsfolk that joined them, went door to door shooting suspected strikers. Women, children, elders, and men were rounded up and shot on sight. Those who got away ran and hid in the woods and swamps. The massacre lasted many hours and resulted in an estimated 60 deaths and even more casualties. Many of the strikers were buried in unmarked graves. Executions did not stop there. Other areas, such as the area of the St. Mary Parish, also saw many executions of strikers. Rest in peace to those that tragically lost their lives in the Thibodaux Massacre of 1887.